coming back to school with me. We could have done it all so easily.
Hi, my name is Craig Thompson-Wood. I'm the board game teacher. Thanks for coming to my games room. Today we are kicking it old school with Stop Thief by Parker Brothers. So in looking at the report card for Stop Thief, I'm going to give the number of players a B. It plays up to 4 players. It plays fine with 2 as well, so 2 to 4 players is the size of the game. And so anytime I say 4 players, I think that's kind of your standard, so that's the B. For learning, I'm going to give the game a B-. It's kind of a funny game in that there's not a lot of the standard curricular learning in there. The best learning that you do in this game is all the problem solving that you do in trying to find an invisible villain. This game was really revolutionary for its time in that it uses sound effects on this device here that kind of looks like an 80s cell phone that would then give you clues as to the criminal's whereabouts, and then you'd have to go and punch in the coordinates for that spot when you're adjacent to it in order to try to arrest them. So it was a really interesting game in that regard, as I say, very ahead of its time. And it was that problem-solving thing that my brother and I used to sometimes just sit there and not even play the game board, the actual game, just listen to the clues for a bunch of clues and see if we could guess based on those clues where the villain was and just try to make the arrest by punching coordinates. It was kind of fun in that way. So there is math involved with the calculation of the monies and things and counting money and points at the end. Well, the money is the points at the end. Dice rolls, things like that, and then reading for rules and such. But those are sort of more minor things. The big learning comes from the problem solving and critical thinking. For fun, I give the game an A. I mean, I loved this game when I was a kid. This isn't my original copy when I was young, as I was lucky enough to find this one in a Value Village or Talese or one of those thrift stores. And so if you can get your hands on a copy of this game, I highly recommend it. Just hopefully it works, but stay tuned. I've got a little surprise for you. For time, I'm going to give the game a B+. The game, it's one of those games that you can play a full game, which can take maybe an hour or a little more, or as like you said, my brother and I used to play with just the thing to figure out the clues where the villain was and just have fun doing it that way. So either way that you do it, I mean, the game is very flexible in terms of the time that you're going to be putting into playing it. Not a lot of setup time, not a lot of cleanup time. Pretty basic, but it's the flexibility of whether you actually play the game properly or whether you play it just to try and hunt the villain. It makes it very flexible for the time, therefore I give it the B+. For cost, I'm going to give this game, question mark for this copy because I don't know. Like if you can find a copy. Like I said, I was lucky to find this one. In all the hunts I've ever done in thrift stores and things, this is the only copy I have found of this ever. And I was lucky to have found it, and I'm even luckier that everything inside was, still working. Because, when you're buying from the thrift store, you're just taking a chance that, this electronic device in the middle here may not even be operational, but it was for me. However, there was a very good company by the name of Restoration Games, and Restoration Games has remade Stop Thief. So if you like the idea of this game, you can actually get a copy of this. So while it's a little bit of cheating because this is a game that's out currently and this is, kicking it old school, I did have the original copy of this, and I do think it is based on that. And this is what Restoration Games does, is that they look at games which were from back in the day and then recreate it using modern technology and new board game ideas. So where this game was just like roll and move, and that's sort of an outdated mechanic for board games. This one now uses card play, and each of the, was this one, all the detectives were exactly the same. They had no special abilities, detectives being the players. In this one, each player that detective that you play has special abilities, which make for different strategies and, makes the replayability of the game even greater. So because this is the Kicking It Old School episode, I'm going to save this one for another time, perhaps. I'm going to show you this game, how it's played, and you just know that the app for this one is done in a very similar way. So if you are interested in this one, you download the app, and it's pretty much the same thing, just done with an app instead of the device on this. So let me take it to the table and show you how it's played. So here's the board for Stop Thief all set up, ready to go. It's so there is more to it. There's the villain cards. There's money. There's these funny little detective cards that people have. So you're going to be searching for different villains, and so the different villains will be worth different amounts of money. So in this case, I guess back in 1979 when this game was put out, $1,000 was a lot of money for this guy. This is the brain. Now it's you see it's Recherche. It is a French version I found of Stop Thief, but really once you know how to play the game and you can even download the rules online, it doesn't matter that it's whatever language it's in, it's pretty language independent after that. So what you're going to do at the start of the thing is you're going to have your handy dandy little electronic crime scanner here. And you're just simply going to press on. And you see there, it's 1CR. So that means there's been a crime in building 1. So there's building 1, building 2, building 3, building 4. And you see the numbers on the sides of the buildings there to indicate which it is. So crimes happen in the red spots. So we know now that the villain is in one of those red spots. So the players would then roll the dice. So if I move the yellow player first, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, so I've made it in through the door here, and I'm able to make an arrest in that spot if I want to, but if you make a false arrest, then there's a penalty for that. So I'm going to hold off on that for now, and then the blue player is going to go, and the blue player rolls a 10, so they'll go 1, 2, 3. Now you can also use these subways here, so I can take the subway from here to here for 1, and maybe, let's see, maybe I'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're going to come in through that way. Okay, and then once the players have gone, all the players have gone, you press the clue button. And so there's the sound effect for footsteps. And so the footsteps now tell us that they have walked somewhere. So the footsteps would then be in spaces that are one number away. So you see there's a number here. So they could have walked from here to here, from here to here. They haven't gone through a door, so they could be here, or maybe down here, or over here. I mean, there's a number of places they can be. The villain does go diagonally as well. So it's flashing here 1FL. So it tells us what they've done. Okay, so both players will go again. So maybe this player comes here, this player goes here, and then that's the sound of a door opening. They've opened a door. And I'm just going to press through a few clues so you get a sense of the different clue sounds that are made. Okay, and they're walking footsteps again. So it wouldn't be, they didn't go here for sure. Well, no, they could have gone here, here, here. Here, 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 here. I mean, there's just a number of places they could have gone still. And now they've stolen again. And you can hear my happy laundry machine in the background. Walking, stealing. So I'm guessing they went here, 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 or vice versa. Now they're doing nothing. Walking, walking. That's the sound of breaking glass. And that's the sound of them running along the street now. So if we're wanting to try and replay in our heads what had happened, so you can go back, and so the last clue that was played was, 0 was the last clue, and then you go backwards. Breaking glass, footsteps, footsteps, crime, footsteps, crime, footsteps, open a door, footsteps, and then before that was their first crime. So you can use those clues, so maybe it's like crime, footsteps, door, footsteps, crime, footsteps, crime, footsteps, footsteps, breaking glass, and then running down here. So let's just, so the yellow player thinks that's the case, so they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they are on the space right there, and that is 640. So they're going to say arrest 640. We're going to see what happens. And that was a false arrest. I misread the number there. It's a bit faded. So I was actually absolutely correct. Now you'll hear what happens. That means that we're in the right spot. And that means you caught them. And sometimes they give you a raspberry. They go, nah, 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 and they run off again. So in which case you don't get a penalty for a false arrest, but you also don't get the penalty for catching them. So in this case, then this player would get the brain card, they'd get the $1,000, and you continue playing. So you play till certain number of villains are captured, and then whoever has the most money wins. And that's how you play Stop Thief.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for Stop Thief, or Au Valeur, according to my French copy. If you have any questions about the game, or if you'd like to see more about the Restoration Games version, please leave me a message in the comment section below. If you have any other ideas for games you might like to see on the channel, particularly ones you might like to see it on Kicking It Old School, then please leave me a message in the comment section below. I'd also like to point out that today I am wearing my Extra Life t-shirt, which I'd got from participating in the campaign a couple of years ago. And just do remember, if you're watching this video, that I am still raising funds for the Toronto Sick Kids Hospital in conjunction with Level Up Games. So please look at there'll be a link down below. Please click on that link and donate if you're able to, because every little bit helps, and it's going to a very worthy cause with the Toronto Sick Kids Hospital. Well, until next time, I'm Craig Thompson with the Board Game Teacher saying, thanks for coming to the classroom.
Are you coming back to school with